Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome all to today's reading from Sri Caitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter number 18, verse number 154. Sri Caitanya Mahāprabhu visits Sri Vṛndāvana Dham. That's the name of the chapter. I might have said a word or two in the title here and there, so please forgive me. Verse number 154. Let's invoke the presence of the Lord. Mukam karoti vachanam pangum lagate girim yat kripatamam mante Shri Gurum Dintarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyeshwar Hari Om. That's all. Verse 154. Ye tomar ichha ami seita kariba yahan lena yaha tumi tahani yaiba. Whatever you desire I must do. Wherever you take me I shall go. Verse number 155. प्रातः काले महाप्रभु प्रातः स्नान कैला वृंदावन छाड़ीबा जानी प्रेमावेश haila. The next morning Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got up early. After taking his bath he became ecstatic with love, knowing that he now had to leave Vrindavan. Verse 156. Bahya vikar nahi premavishta mana Bhattacharya kahe chala yae mahavana. Although the Lord did not exhibit any external symptoms, his mind was filled with ecstatic love. At that time, Balbhadra Bhattacharya said, "Let us go to Mahavan Gokul." Verse 157. Eta Bali Mahaprabhure Naukaya Vasana Par Kari Bhattacharya Chalila Lena. Saying this, Balbhadra Bhattacharya made Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sit aboard a boat. After they crossed the road, he took the Lord with him. Verse 158. Premi Krishnadas Ar Saita Brahman Ganga Tir Pathe Yaibar Vichna Dui Jana. Both Rajput Krishnadas and Sanodiya Brahman knew the path along the Ganges bank very well. Verse 159. Yaite Eka Vrikshe Tale Prabhu Sabha Lena Vasila Sabar Patha Shranti Dekhiya. While walking, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, understanding that the others were fatigued, took them all beneath a tree and sat down. Verse 160. Sai Vriksha Nikate Chare Bahu Gabhi Gana Ta Dekhi Mahaprabhura Ullasit Mana. There were many cows grazing near the tree. And the Lord was very pleased to see them. So in Bengali, the cows collectively will be called Gabhi Gana. In Punjabi we say Ga, Ga, and Hindi it's Go or Go. Verse 161. Achambite ek gopa vamshi bajaila shuni mahaprabhura mahapremaveshe haila. Suddenly a cowherd boy blew on his flute, and immediately the Lord was struck with ecstatic love. Verse 162. Achetana hena prabhu bhumite padila mukhe phena pade nasai shwas ruddha haila. Filled with ecstatic love, the Lord fell to the ground unconscious. He foamed about the mouth and his breathing stopped. Verse 163. Hena kale tahan ashoyar dasha aila mlecha Pathan Ghoda Haite Uttarila. While the Lord was unconscious, 10 cavalry soldiers belonging to the Muslim Pathan military order rode up and dismounted. Verse 164. Prabhure dekhiya mlecha kare vichare e yati pash chila suvarna apar. Seeing the Lord unconscious, the soldiers thought this sannyasi must have possessed a large quantity of gold. Verse 165. E chari batoyara dhutura kauyana mari dariyache yatir sabadhana lana. These 4 rogues here must have taken away that sannyasi's riches after killing him or making him take the poison, dhutura. Verse 166. Tabe se pathan chari janere bandhila katite chahe goriya sabar karnpite lagila. Thinking this, the Pathan soldiers arrested the 4 persons and decided to kill them. Because of this, the 2 Bengalis began to tremble. Purport by his Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The 4 persons were Balbhadra Bhattacharya, his assistant Brahmana, Rajput, Krishnadas, and Sanodiya Brahman devotees of Madhavendra Puri. Verse 167, Krishnadas Rajput Nirbhay se bada, Sai Vipra Nirbhay se mukhe bada dada. Bada dada means very brave in Bengali. The devotee Krishnadas, who belonged to the Rajput race, was very fearless. The Sanodiya Brahman was also fearless, and he spoke very bravely. So some words we couldn't guess if there was no translation given by Srila Prabhupada, like Bada Dada is the Bengali word. Bada Dada means very brave in English. Verse 168, Vipra kahe Pathan tomara patsar dohai chala tumi amis sikdar pash yai. The Brahman said, you Pathan soldiers are all under the protection of your king. Let us go to your commander and get his decision. Verse 169, Ye yati amar guru ami mathura Brahman patsar age ache more shatajana. This sannyasi is my spiritual master and I am from Mathura. I am a Brahman and I know many people who are in the service of the Muslim king. Verse 170, Yati vyadite kabhu haina murchita abhanhi chetna paibe haibe samvita. This sannyasi sometimes falls unconscious due to the influence of a disease. Please sit down here and you will see that he will very soon regain consciousness and his normal condition. Verse 171, Kshaneke ihan vaisa bandhi rakha sabare inhake puchiya tabe mariha sabare. Sit down here for a while and keep us all under arrest. When the sannyasi regains his senses, you can question him. Then, if you like, you can kill us all. Verse number 172. Pathan kahe tumi paschima mathura dui jana gaudiya thak e kanpe dui jana. Thak is rogues, just like in Hindi you would say thug. Or in English, they have adopted the Hindi word thug. Translation, the Pathan soldier said, you are all rogues. One of you belongs to the western lands, one to the district of Mathura, and the other 2 who are trembling belong to Bengal. Verse number 173. Krishnadas kahe amar ghar e grame dui shat turki ache shateka kamane. Dui Shata Turki is 200 Turks. Shateka Kamani is 100 cannons. Rajput Krishnadas said, I have my home here and I also have about 200 Turkish soldiers and about 100 cannons. Verse 174. Ekhane asibe sab ami yadi Phukari, Goda Pida Lutti Labe Thoma Saba Mari. If I call loudly, they will come immediately to kill you and plunder your your horses and saddles. Verse 175. Gaudiya Patpad Nahe Tumi Patpad Tirthvasi Lutha Ar Chaha Mari Bar. Bhattapad is rogues. Lutha, you plunder. The Bengalis pilgrims are not rogues. You are rogues, for you want to kill the pilgrims and plunder them. Verse 176. Shuniya Pathan Mane Sankocha Haila Hera Kale Mahāprabhu Caitanya Paila. Upon hearing this challenge, the Pathan soldiers became hesitant. Then suddenly Sri Caitanya Mahāprabhu regained the consciousness. Verse 177, Hunkar kariya uthe bale hari hari, prema veshe nritya kare urdhva bahu kari. Coming to his senses, the Lord very loudly began chanting in the holy name. Hari Hari, the Lord raised his arms upwards and began to dance in ecstatic love. Verse 178. Prema veshe prabhu yabe karena chitkar mlecha hridaye yena lage sheladhar. Sheladhar means a thunderbolt. Mlecha hriday is in the heart of Muslim soldiers. When the Lord shouted very loudly in ecstatic love, it appeared to be to the Muslim soldiers that their hearts were struck by thunderbolts. Verse 179, Bhaya Pana mlecha chadi dila chari jana mujh Prabhu kahe Prabhu na dekhila nij ganera bandhana. Seized by fear, all the Pathan soldiers immediately released the 4 persons. Thus Sri Caitanya Mahāprabhu did not see his personal associates arrested. Verse 180, Bhattacharya Asi Prabhu Dhari Vasaila Mlecha Gana Dekhi Mahaprabhu Bhaya Haila. At that time, Balbhadra Bhattacharya went to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and made him sit down. Seeing the Muslim soldiers, the Lord regained his normal consciousness. Verse 181, Mlecha Gana Asi Prabhura Vandila Charana Prabhu Age Kahe E Thak Chari Jana. All the Muslim soldiers then came before the Lord, worshipped his lotus feet and said, Here are the 4 rogues. Verse 182, Ei chari mili tomae dutura khayona khaoyana tomar dhana laila tomae pagal kariya. These rogues have made you take the tura, having made you mad, they have taken all your possessions. Verse 183, Prabhu kaina thak nahe mora sangi jana bhikshuk sannyasi mora nahi kichu dhana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, These are not rogues, they are my associates. Being a sannyasi beggar, I do not possess anything. Verse 184, Mrigi vyatite kami kabhu hai achetana ei chari daya karib kanera palana. Due to epilepsy, I sometimes fall unconscious. Due to them, out of their mercy, these 4 men maintain me. Verse 185, Same lecha mathe eka param gambhira kal vastra pare se loke kahe pira. Among the Muslim soldiers, Muslims was a brave man who was wearing black dress. People called him a saintly person. Verse 186, Chitta Adra Haila Tandra Prabhura Dekhiya Nirvishesh Brahma Sthape. Where was I? Nirvishesha Brahma Sthape Swashastra Uthana. In the heart of a saintly person softened upon seeing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wanted to talk him and establish impersonal Brahman on the basis of his own scripture, the Quran. Verse 187, Advaita Brahma Vada se karila sthapana tar shastra yukte tare Vishnu Prabhu. Okay, Advaita Brahma Vada se karila sthapana tar shastra yukte tare Prabhu kaila khandana. When the person tried to establish the impersonal Brahman conception of the absolute truth on the basis of the Quran, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu refuted his argument. Verse 188, Ye kahila Prabhu sakali khandila uttar na aise mukhe maha stabdhaila. Whatever argument he put forward, the Lord refuted them all. Finally, the person became stunned and he could not speak. Verse 189, Prabhu kahe tomar shastra sthape nirvishesha taha khandi suvishesha Stapyache Shesha. Excuse me. Sri Caitanya Mahāprabhu said, the Quran certainly established impersonalism, but at the end it refutes that impersonalism and establishes the personal God. Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu says the Quran certainly establishes impersonalism, but at the end it refutes that impersonalism and establishes the personal God. I don't know if I have read the previous verse nicely. We'll say again, verse 189. Prabhu kahe tumhara shastra sthapite nirvisheshe taha khandi savishesha shopiyache deseshe. Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu said the Quran certainly establishes impersonalism, but at the end it refutes that impersonalism and Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu said the Quran certainly establishes impersonalism, but at the end it refutes the impersonalism and establishes the personal God. Verse 190. Tumhara shastra kahe sheshe ekai ishvara sarvaishvarya purushata purna tenho shama. Right. The Quran, Tumhara Shastra Kahe Sheshe Ek Ishvara Sarvaishwarya Purnatenho Shyama Kalevara. The Quran accepts the fact that ultimately there is only one God. He is full of opulence and his bodily complexion is blackish. Purport the revealed scripture of the Muslims Quran. There is one Muslim sampradaya known as Sufis. The Sufis kept impersonalism. Only one Muslim sampradaya known as Sufi. The Sufis impersonalism, believing in the oneness of the God and the absolute truth. The supreme slogan is Analahak. The Sufi sampradaya was certainly derived from the Shankaracharya's impersonalism. Verse 191. Sachidananda Deha Purna Brahma Swarupa Sarvatma Sarvajna Nitya Sarvadi Sarvadi Swarupa. Sachidananda Deha Purna Brahma Swarupa Sarvatma Sarvajna Nitya Sarvadi Swarupa. According to the Quran, the Lord has a supreme, blissful, transcendental body. He is the absolute truth. He is the absolute truth, the all-pervading, omniscient, and eternal body. He is the original of everything. Verse 182. Srishti sthiti pralaya taha haiteha. Okay. Creation, maintenance, and dissolution come from him. He is the original shelter of the gross and subtle cosmic manifestations. Verse 193. Sarva Shreshta Sarvaradhya Karanera Karna Tahira Lok like Yelashru Tanra Bhakti Haya Jivera Samsara Tarana. The Lord is supreme truth, worshipable to all. He is the cause of all causes. By engaging in the devotional service, the living entity is relieved from this material energy. Tandra Seva Vina Jivera Na Yai Samsara Tandra. Tanhar Charane Priti Purusharth Sar. No conditioned soul can get out of this material bondage without serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Love of lotus feet, his lotus feet is the ultimate goal of life. Purport according to the Muslim scripture, without ibadat, that is ibadat, offering prayers at a mosque or elsewhere 5 minutes, 5 times daily, that is namaz, one cannot be successful in life. Sri Caitanya Mahāprabhu pointed out that the revealed scripture of the Muslims, love of Godhead is the ultimate goal. Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga are certainly described in the Quran, but ultimately the Quran says that ultimate goal is the So according to Muslim scripture, I'll repeat this, without ibadat, offering prayers at a mosque or elsewhere 5 times a day, that is the namaz, one cannot be successful in life. Sri Caitanya Mahāprabhu pointed out that in the revealed scriptures of Muslims, love of Godhead is the ultimate goal. Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga are certainly described in the Quran. Mahāprabhu pointed out that the revealed scriptures of the Muslims, love of Godhead is the ultimate goal. Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga are certainly described in karma, but simple, the house is also. Okay. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pointed out that in the revealed scripture of the Muslims, love of Godhead is the ultimate goal. Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga are certainly described in the Quran, but ultimately the Quran states that the ultimate goal is offering of prayers to the Supreme Lord. Verse 195, Mokshadi Ananda Yar Nahe Ek Karna Purnanand Prapti Tandra Charana Sevana. The happiness of liberation whereby one merges into the Lord's existence cannot be compared to a fragment of the transcendental bliss obtained by service unto the Lord's lotus feet. Verse number 196, Karma Jnana Yoga Age Kariya Sthapana Sab Khandi Sthape Ishwara Tanhara Sevana. In the Quran there are description of fruitive activities, speculative knowledge, mystic power and union with the Supreme, but ultimately all this is refuted and the Lord's personal feature established along with his devotional clothes. Well, let me check if I have left something to speak from the previous verse. Okay. Okay, let's start again from verse 196. Karma Jnana Yoga Age Kariya Sthapana Sab Khandi Sthape Ishwara Tanhara Sevana. In the Quran there are descriptions of fruitive activity, speculative knowledge, mystic power and union with the Supreme, but ultimately all this is refuted and the Lord's personal feature established along with his devotional service. Verse 197, Tomar Pandit Sabar Nahi Shastra Gyan Purvapara Vidhi Madhya Para Balavan. The scholars of the Quran are not very advanced in knowledge. Although there are many methods prescribed, they do not know that the ultimate conclusion should be considered the most powerful. Verse 198, Nija Shastra Dekhi Tumi Vichara Kariya Ki Likhiyache Shesh Kaha Nirnay Kariya. Seeing your own Quran and deliberating over what is written there, what is your conclusion? Verse 199, Mlecha kahe ye kaha sahi satya haya shastre likhiyache keha laite na paraya. The saintly Muslim replied, "All that you have said is true. This has certainly been written in the Quran, but our scholars can neither understand nor accept it." Verse number 200. Nirvishesh Gosani Lena Karena Vyakhyan Sakar Gosani Se Vyakaro Nahi Gyan. Usually they describe the Lord's impersonal aspect, but they hardly know that the Lord's personal feature is worshipable. They're undoubtedly lacking this knowledge. Purport. The saintly Muslim admitted that those who were supposedly conversant in the teachings of Quran did not ultimately understand the essence of the Quran. Because of this, they accept only the Lord's impersonal feature. Generally, they recite and explain this portion only. Though the transcendental body of the Lord is worshipable, most of them are unaware of this. Okay, let's hope this next verse loads up. Verse number 201. Seta Gosani Tumi Sakshat Ishvara More Kripa Kara Muni Ayogya Pamar. Ayogya Pamar, very fallen and unfit. Since you are that very same Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself, please be merciful upon me. I am fallen and unfit. Verse number 202. Aneka Dekhino Muni Mlecha Shastra Haite Sadhya Sadhana Vastu Nari Nirdharite. Sadhya is the ultimate goal of life. Sadhana is how to approach. I have studied the Muslim scripture very extensively, but from it I cannot conclusively decide what the ultimate goal of life is or how can I approach it. Verse 203. Tuma dekhi jihva mora bale Krishna naam ami bada gyani e gela abhiman. Gela abhiman is false prestige has gone away. Gela means, like we say, gone, gaya, chala gaya. Translation. Now that I have seen you, my tongue is chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The false prestige I felt from being a learned scholar is now gone. Verse 204. Kripa kari bala more sadhya sadhane eta bali pade Mahāprabhura charane. So it's interesting, isn't it? In Hindi it is bola and in Bengali it is bala. Bala. Saying this, the saintly Muslim fell at the lotus feet of Sri Caitanya Mahāprabhu and requested him to speak of life's ultimate goal and the process by which it could be obtained. Verse 205. Prabhu kahe utha Krishna naam tumi lila. Prabhu janmera koti janmera papa gela pavitra haila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Please get up, you have chanted the holy name of Krishna, therefore the sinful reactions you have accrued for many millions of lives are now gone, you are now pure." Verse 206. Krishna kaha kaila upadesh sabe Krishna kahe sabar haila premavesh. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then told all the Muslims there, chant the holy name of Krishna, chant the holy name of Krishna. As they all began to chant, they were overwhelmed by ecstatic love. Verse 207. Ramadas Bali Prabhu Tandra Kaila Nam Are Ek Pathan Tandra Nam Vijuli Khan. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly initiated the saintly Muslim by advising him to chant the holy name of Krishna. The Muslim's name was changed to Ramadas. Other Pathan Muslim present there was named Vijuli Khan. Purport: after being initiated, the devotees in the Krishna consciousness movement changed their names. Whenever a person in the Western world becomes interested in this Krishna consciousness movement, he is initiated by this process. In India, we are falsely accused of converting Mlechas and Yavanas to the Hindu religion. In India, there are many Mayavadi sannyasis known as Jagat Guru, although they have hardly visited the whole world. Some are not even sufficiently educated, yet they make accusation against our movement and accuse us of destroying the principles of the Hindu religion by accepting Muslims and Yavanas as Vaishnavas. Such people are simply envious. We are not spoiling the Hindu system of religion, but are simply following in the footsteps of Sri Caitanya Mahāprabhu by traveling all over the world and accepting those who are interested in understanding Krishna as Krishnadas or Ramdas. By the process of a bona fide initiation, their names are changed. So this was Prabhupada in his purport. Verse 208. Alpa Vayasa Tanra Rajar Kumar Ramadas Adi Pathan Chakar Tan Har. Vijuli Khan was very young and he was the son of the king. All the other Muslims or Pathans headed by Ramadas were his servants. Verse 209. Krishna Bali Pade Se Mahaprabhura Paye Prabhu Shri Charan Dila Tanhara Mathaye. Vijuli Khan also fell at the lotus feet of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, and the Lord placed his foot on his head. Verse 210. Tan Sabare Kripa Kari Prabhu Chalila Seita Pathan Saba Vairagi Haila. After bestowing his mercy upon them in this way, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu left all those Pathan Muslims, then became mendicants. Verse number 211. Pathan Vaishnav Bali Haila Tanra Khyati Sarvatra Gaiya Bule Mahaprabhura Kirti. Khyati is reputation, Kirti is glorious activities. Later, these Pathans became celebrated as the Pathan Vaishnavas. They toured all over the country and chanted the glorious activities of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Verse number 212. Say Vijuli Khan Haila Mahabhagavata Sarva Tirthe Haila Tanra Paramahatva. Vijuli Khan became a greatly advanced devotee and his importance was celebrated at every holy place of pilgrimage. Verse 213. Aiche lila kare Prabhu Shri Krishna Chaitanya Paschime Asiya Kaila Yavanadi Dhanya. In this way, Lord Shri Caitanya Mahaprabhu performed his pastimes. Coming to the western part of India, he bestowed good fortune upon the Yavans and Malechas. Purport: the word Yavan means meat eater. Anyone from the meat eating community is called Yavan. One who does not strictly observe the Vedic regulative principles is called a Malecha. These words do not refer to any particular man. Even if a person is born in a Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra family, he is Malecha or a Yavana if he does not strictly follow the regulative principles or he eats meat. Verse 214. Soro Kshetre Asi Prabhu Kaila Ganga Snan Ganga Tire Pathe Kaila Prayage Prayan. Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu next went to the holy place of pilgrimage called the Soro Kshetra. He took his bath in the Ganges there and started for Prayag on the path along the banks of the Ganges. Verse number 215. Sai Vipre Krishnadase Prabhu Vidaye Dila Yoda Hate Doi Jane Kahite Lagila. At Sorokshetra, the Lord requested the Sanodia Brahman and Rajput Krishnadas to return home, but with folded hands they began to speak as follows. So, Joda is Yoda in Bengali. Verse 216. Prayag Paryant Dunhe Tuma Sange Yab Tumar Charan Sang Punah Kahan Pab. They prayed, let us go to Prayag with you. If we do not go, then shall we again get the association of your lotus feet. Verse 217. Mlecha Desh Keha Kahan Karai Utpat Bhattacharya Pandita Kahite Na Janena Bat. This country is mainly occupied by Muslims. At any place, someone can create a disturbance, and although your companion Balbhadra Bhattacharya is a learned scholar, he does not know how to speak the local language. Verse number 218. Shuni Mahaprabhu Ishat Hasite Lagila Sedui Jana Prabhura Sange Chali Aila. Hearing this, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu accepted their proposal by smiling mildly. Thus those two persons continued to accompany him. Verse number 290. Ye Jana Prabhura Paile Darshana Say Preme Matta Haya Kare Krishna Sankirtana. Whoever got to see Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu would feel himself overwhelmed with ecstatic love and would begin to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Verse 220, Tandra Sange Anione Tandra Sange An Eimata Vaishnav Kaila Sab Desha Gram. Whoever met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became a Vaishnav, and whoever met that Vaishnav also became a Vaishnav. In this way, all the towns and villages became Vaishnav one after the another. Verse 221, Dakshin Yaite Yaiche Shakti Prakashila Sei Mata Paschim Deshe Preme Bhasaila. Just as the Lord inundated South India on his tour there, he also inundated the western part of the country with love of Godhead. According to some opinions, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited Kurukshetra while going to Prayag from Vṛndāvana. There is a temple of Bhadrakali in Kurukshetra, and near that temple there is a temple containing the deity of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the purport, so interesting. If anyone is visiting Kurukshetra, they should see near the temple of Bhadrakali a temple containing the deity of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Verse 222, Eimata Chali Prabhu Prayag Aila Dashadina Trivenite Makar Snan Kaila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu finally arrived at Prayag and for 10 successive days bathed in the confluence of the rivers Yamuna and Ganges during the festival of Makar Sankranti Magh Mela. Purport, actually the word Triveni indicates the confluence of 3 rivers, namely Ganges, Yamuna and Saraswati. Presently, the Saraswati river is not visible, but the river Ganges and the river Yamuna merge at Allahabad. So Allahabad has been renamed in India as Prayag. Verse 223, Vṛndāvana Gaman Prabhu Charitra Anant Sahasra Vadan Yandra Nahi Pana Anant. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visit to Vrindavan and his activities there are unlimited. Even Lord Shesh, who has thousands of hoods, cannot reach the end of his activities. Verse 224, Tahake kahite pare kshudra jivahena dik darshana kailun munish sutra kariya. What ordinary living being can describe the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? I have only indicated the general direction in the form of a summary. Verse 225, Alokik Lila Prabhura Alokik Riti Shuniliyo Bhagya Hinera Nahai Pratiti. The pastimes and methods of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are uncommon. Unfortunate is he who cannot believe even after hearing all these things. Verse 226, Adyo Panta Chaitanya Lila Alokik Jana Shraddha Kari Shuna Iha Satya Kari Man. From the beginning to the end, the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are uncommon. Just hear them with faith and accept them as true and correct. Verse 227, Ye Tarka Kare Ihan Se Murkha Raj Apanar Munde Se Apani Pade Vaj. Whoever argues about this is a great fool. He intentionally and personally brings a thunderbolt down upon his head. Munde was head. 228 verse number, Chaitanya Charitra Ei Amritera Sindhu Jagat Anande Bhasaye Yar Ek Bindu. The pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are an ocean of nectar. Even a drop of this ocean can inundate the whole world with transcendental bliss. Verse 229, Shri Rupa Raghunath Pade Yar Ash Chaitanya Charitamrit Kahe Krishnadas. Praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Shri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I Krishnadas narrate Shri Chaitanya Charitamrit following in their footsteps. Thus end the Bhakti Vedanta purports to Shri Chaitanya Charitamrit, Madhya Lila, 18th chapter, describing the Lord's visit to Sri Vṛndāvana and his conversion of the Muslim soldiers on the way to Prayag. So next we will begin chapter number 19. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructs Srila Rupa Goswami. Thank you for joining. Hariam Tat Sat, Hare Krishna, and happy Vasant Panchami to all of you. You must have seen the deities dressed up all in yellow, and there are also some important days in the calendar. I don't remember all of them in my head. I know there's Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's day. I'm not pretty sure if it's is it appearance or disappearance day today, and there is, I think, Raghunath Das Goswami's as well. So anyway, you can check in the ISKCON calendar, Vaishnav calendar. So we'll join you next time with the live reading. Thank you for joining. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.